Hi, I'm Janie Donaldson Mullen at Quilt Central Academy in Janesville, Wisconsin. This is the second video on the A1 long arm products, and this is called the favorite package as they bundle their things for sale, so they're much less than you pick and choose by a la carte. So the package is very complete, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. First of all, their favorite package includes a heavy-duty steel frame. I think it's the heaviest one on the market. This frame also has hydraulics on it, so there's a hydraulic lift for the legs, which is a beautiful thing if you are a professional long armer because you can raise and lower that frame for comfort, or if you get a glare on your work, you can change it so that you can see white thread on white stitching so that you could get a little bit of a shadow so you could see where you're going. It also has on this frame levelers on the feet so that it can be adjusted if your floor is off balance. If you have hydraulics on the frame, it will level the frame from end to end, but not front to back. So the levelers are very helpful if your floor is uneven so that you could get everything to be level. If you're level, your machine will feel lighter, like it's not rolling away from you and you have to pull it towards you. And you also have less chance of having thread breakage due to a dip in the end of the frame. So the hydraulics are very important, and so are the levelers on the feet. It also has a lift bar. This top bar can lift with a handle and raise up so that you can get a wrinkle out of the batting. This pole is steel. The poles are all steel, and this is the biggest around one that I know. The diameter of this is very large, so that if you pull your quilt very tight in order to help square it up, then there's no bow in the bar at all. So that's another thing that makes this a professional frame, is some of the materials that it's built with. This also, the A1 products come with two different size heads. One is a 31 and one is a 23. But the 23 is the one that fits in this favorite package. The 31 is the one that fits on the Symphony frame best, because this one only extends out just so far, so the 23 is the one that we sell in the favorite package. When they measure the 23, they measure it from the needle to the back of the throat, and that's where they get the 23-inch reach. And I've kind of been over the head in the first video, but I'll tell you a little bit more real quick. Adjustable handlebars. The touchscreen comes with it. The fastest motor on the market that I know of, it's a servo or a magnetic motor, goes 3,000 to 4,000 stitches per minute. It is a true casting, and it's made by the Amish, and then it's sent over to the machine shop to machine it out for balance. So this is the one that the pros like because there's no wag in the tail, no vibe. It's really got a great tracking system. So many things about this have been engineered for pros. The lights that are on here, I'm not going to turn them on because they kind of blind the camera. There's a white light and a black light. These are engineered so they're tipped, so they cross. So if you wanted to pick out a stitch and you had your hand down here, there's no shadow of your hand on your work. So it's a really great thing. Also, the wheels have been engineered. So one grips the track, the opposite one on the other side rides the ridge. So even if the track wasn't perfect, and there would be no pinch point. So that's a great thing in engineering also. The handlebars are ones that you don't have to buy a second set to do micro meandering. These are double jointed. They'll go all the way down where the needle is, and this is for the control over the needle for that little micro stippling that you might want to do. They come with a 7-inch screen. You can upgrade a little bit more money and get a 10-inch screen on them, but they typically come with the 7. This one that I have on here is the 10. Hopefully the camera can see things a little bit better. It has on it, besides the two different kinds of lights, and I'll explain the black light a little bit better. The black light is for if you're sewing on satins and you need to mark with a glow pencil so that your marks don't show or have to be removed later, because you can't wet satin and have it dry out without a watermark on it. So if you're sewing a double wedding ring quilt or something, it's really great to have that option on there. So it has files so that you can, in the file system, you can have a calculator. It's got built-in diagnostics. The screen goes Wi-Fi, so a technician can actually log on to this from somewhere and check your error message, and you don't have to send a truck out, so you can get more immediate help with it. Updates come to you similar to the computer. It reaches out, it'll tell you if there's an update, then call a tech, make sure that's the one that fits your type or model and that you haven't missed one in between. So then we can tell you to go ahead and update that, so if there's a new button to be obtained, you'll get it right away. And the updates so far, over the 10 years that this computer's been available, they've never charged for an update. They're always free, so far so good. So under the needle, they have the sensitivity, how to set it up so you have needle up, needle down, tie off numbers. It has a timer on it so that you can time your quilts yourself, or you can, if you rent your machine for like $25 an hour, there's a way to show how much run time is on it, so there's no argument with how much to charge the customer. Stitch counters on it ahead of its time. These machines, if you have the computer part, are beginning to take embroidery files, so that's going to help you to count stitches, because the embroidery gals or guys charge by the stitch. The long armers charged by the square inch or the square yard or their time. It has customizable buttons on it. The handlebar buttons, red, green, yellow, blue, red, green, yellow, blue, can be customized for a lefty or a righty. You can change this to, I think, 9 different choices per button. So there's, you can make it a mode of stitching or a second tie off. If you want it on a different button, it's easy to move. It's got a built-in tape measure, top to bottom, right to left, diagonal, and that you need for borders and when you want to measure the corner. And sometimes you just want to draw a line across your block. So if you hold a piece of chalk next to the foot and roll the machine, you can actually see it count the motion and the numbers and where you're at. You can find the center of the block really easy with that. So I really love all the features that are on it. It's got 4 modes of sewing. It's got, this one is totally stitch regulated. This is a professional mode of sewing called cruise. It's half and half, and high speeds it's stitch regulated. Low speeds, it is non-stitch regulated. That would be so you could do big swoopy things, stitch regulated, and little tiny micro meandering around whatever you sewed. And it will drop down in slower speeds for that type of meandering, because the pros like to do the teeny tiny stuff in manual. Manual mode is where the stitch regulators are turned off. Baste is for basting a baggy area out, so you baste your top to your back. There's quite a few different things you could do with the baste, but mostly if I have a baggy area in a quilt, I spread it out and baste across it, or baste that one edge if I'm doing edge-to-edge work. Has a laser light, back handlebars, and I'm going to read what's in the package because it's so big. So you get the 12-foot steel frame. This only comes in one length unless you have a custom cut. So then it comes with a 7-inch screen, but you can upgrade to the 10-inch. There'll be a little bit extra charge for that, but not too much. Back handlebars it comes with, and I say that because a lot of the companies don't include back handlebars. You have to pay for them. Has the built-in diagnostics. We give away 5 days of free lessons. It has a stitch regulator, needle positioner, batting access bar, laser light. It comes with a king basin ruler. That is a piece of plastic that snaps around this area here. So if you are using a ruler, there's some support for your ruler, and you could press against it, and you could draw the foot against the ruler, and so you have a place of which you could put some pressure on it. And a ruler comes with it that actually has a little handle on it. So it's one of the nicest ones in the market, but people normally you don't have the ruler base in the package, but this is a really good one. It also comes with a saddle stool, and the saddle stool is a beautiful thing. It actually is a little different of the saddle stool. It has a ring around the bottom so that you can put your feet on it. It will raise and lower so that you can go as high as bar stool height. So the gals or guys that are long-legged and they have this hydraulic system, they can raise the frame up and raise the stool up so their legs are stretched out, not quite so bent, and they can work at it at a height that's comfortable sitting. This also will lower, so that this is, if someone wants to sit or they have knee issues or whatever, they can lower this, and the frame is clear there where your knees go. The pole configuration is great. The top rollers for the top fabric, the lower rollers for the lower backing fabric, and that makes it so that I can actually reach under when the machine is fully loaded with fabric and change my bobbin out anywhere in the frame, where a lot of frames the top roller is lower than the backing one, and you can't get your hands under there to pick out a stitch. You can't get to the bobbin case unless you roll the machine to the end. So this is a beautiful thing to have this roller configuration, and also for the saddle stool to get your knees under there. So it has a starter supply kit. Comes with a tabletop bobbin winder. It sits on another table. You plug it, it's got its own motor. They last for like forever. I've had the same one since I started, and I've been long arming for 38 years now. Comes with 20 bobbins, extra bobbin case, 4 packages of needles, 6,000 yards of thread, oil, T-pins, and their manual is now on it's emailable, and then you print the manual out at home, or you can look at it online on your computer. It comes with a little DVD, or there's some videos up in case you ever want to see how to time. And then it comes with a magnetic pin holder. So this is a really great machine. It's professional. You can add the computer later. It's already got everything built into it. The ports are on the back. The computers are listed about $7,500, but show price is $6,000 for them, so it's easy to do. We also, in our store, offer financing, anywhere from a really small percentage up to 0%, up to 60 months financing, so that's a little longer package than most people are offering. And I would say that today, because this has got such a fast motor on it, and you have choices of frames to put it on, this is very affordable, and it's in the price range where most people can get that onto a payment program and have one right away to finish up their quilts.